Hey, welcome to Story Time with Ray. This story is going to be the time that I broke my ankle chasing buffalo. Yes, I know it sounds exciting, but no, it's really not. If y'all get all the way to the end, I congratulate you, because part of this story I will be stuttering. So, about whenever I was 7, 8 years old, maybe younger, maybe older, I don't remember. Me, my brother, and 3 of our friends decided to go fishing down in a watering hole about 6 blocks from any main road. And there was some buffalo. Well, we was going to just go fishing in a watering hole, which probably didn't even have any fish. About an hour and a half in, we got bored because none of us caught any fish, so we went swimming. It was spring. The water was still cold. That part is for another part in the story later on. As we was swimming, we created mud. My brother and his friends was chasing off the buffalo because they were coming down to take a drink or go swimming or doing whatever they do. I don't know what buffalo do. And I was too scared. And whenever I decided to finally man up and do it myself, grow some balls, I fell in mud, chasing them. The mud that we created. Broke my ankle at the growth plate, so now it's about an inch, maybe 2 inches shorter than the other leg. Which they said that may happen, and it'll cause me problems my whole entire life, which if you know me, if you're my family, or if you're my friend that actually know me in real life, you may catch me walking with a limp. It's not that noticeable unless if you're paying that much attention, but it is noticeable once you see it. And that's the reason why. It causes pain in my lower back. It causes pain in my ankles because of that. And they said it will. So, and my weight ain't helping none, but who cares? I don't. But back to the story. The family tried coming down. Actually, first of all, I tried crawling the 7 blocks back to the main road, uphill. Got to the top of the hill, and that's about the time that my brother decided to leave. My friends done dipped off because I was crying like a little. Yeah, y'all can finish that sentence. But they dipped off. My brother finally went off, left or to go get friends, and I was scared. I could not walk. I couldn't do anything. I was stuck in the middle of nowhere, back in the woods. Made it up the hill. About that time that I decided to start crawling again, my brother showed up with my dad and my uncle and a couple of my cousins. My uncle and my Uncle Johnny, which may rest in peace, and my dad picked me up and tried carrying me. Made it about a block, and then they decided to put me down because I was in too much pain. So they called the ambulance. The ambulance came back there with a stretcher. They couldn't get an ambulance in there because, like I said, it's gated off and back off into the woods a couple of blocks. They can't get... Ambulance ain't bulldozers. They ain't going to crush down the trees. Oh, the light just went away. But, yeah. So, at that time, they got me on the back, on the stretcher. By this time, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and we started that journey 11 o'clock that afternoon. So I sat out there for a few hours, finally got everything done. They were lifting me up over the deal, and I could have swore I was falling, but whenever you're on a on a stretcher, looking straight up at the stars with a few people carrying you, and you already feel like you're tilting whenever they first pick you up. If you ever been on a stretcher, you know what the feeling is. They put me in an ambulance, went to the emergency room and everything, and it was 30 degrees, hypothermia, really bad case of hypothermia. They had to get my temperature down, but they could not set my leg there, so they had to transport me 2.5 hours to Oklahoma City to get it set there. But whenever they prepped me to get transported, they put the cast on too tight. By the time I got to Oklahoma City, my toes were purple. They said that another hour or two, I probably would have lost my foot because how tight they had the circulation cut off. But yeah, the next day I was so drugged up and everything from the surgery that night, of them setting it back in place and doing everything else they needed to do, they decided to try to put me on crutches. I never did crutches. Almost fell, hit my foot across the ground, and that hurt because I had a broken ankle. So once we finally left, went back to my hometown, I wound up in a wheelchair for a few months. And yeah, story time with Michael.